Welcome back, sinners. I thought I'd do something a little different today. I thought I would make something a bit quicker, so that it wasn't so long between videos of mine, because I realise I'm not the best at making videos. But I think I need to try and throw together some videos that I can do quicker, in between the reviews. Now, I don't know if campaign reviews are going to be my long-term thing. I don't know. Who knows? No one really knows when you start this whole adventure, do you? You sort of just find out as you go. That is the joy of content creation, after all. I didn't actually start with Total War, I just transitioned into doing it. And, it may be that I moved to something else. Or maybe I do a bit of other things and Total War. I don't know. It's one of those weird things, right? I play a lot of Total Warhammer, but I also take breaks from it because I realise I get a bit burned out from it. I find it hard to be enthused sometimes, so I take breaks. But I still play in the background just to keep up my, skill set and that I know what I'm doing. So when I'm live, I'm ready for all you guys. Apologies if I sneeze, I'll try and edit any of those out, but hay fever be damned. Now, I wanted to talk to you about a few things. How I'm doing, to some extent, what I'm doing in the background, and also just how I'm feeling at the moment. It's just what's on my mind. In a way that's more condensed and also a bit easier to approach, because a full stream is a lengthy beast. It's a girthy beast. And and it's how shall we say, not always easy to be there for, which I fully appreciate. Streams are long. 2 hours is a long time. 3 hours is a long time. Anything more than that is a really long time. You only have so many hours of the day, and you're asleep for most of them. So, what do you do with your precious time? Well, you've burned several hours away, potentially. Now, if you've had fun doing that, great. And that is my goal. I hope you've had fun watching me for hours, but maybe you have me in the background. Maybe you're doing something else. Maybe you're multitasking. Especially if you are a Zoomer. We all know you're multitasking. That's fine. We have to these days. But, I figured these kind of videos let me connect with you a bit more, in a more one-to-one, and in a more condensed fashion. I'm aiming for these to be the 20-30 minute mark at most, as I don't really want to drag on too much, but also I don't want to sort of keep you for hours. That's not the point of these. The main channel, which these will go on, it will, well, speak of these, working title, Cobral Diaries, perhaps? We'll see. But these are going to be a bit more unorganised, a bit less edited, but quicker to produce. Now, that doesn't mean my more edited stuff's going to go away, it just means I'll have something in between. And then I can throw one of these together. If I can't get a more longer form video out, I can get one of these out. At least like you get, something that I've poured myself into that's quicker to produce. Now, perhaps these will change in format over time. Maybe they will not last very long. It depends how I feel about them. But, chroma keying, add some music. That's it. Not too big a deal, honestly. Hell, realistically, I could probably add something from maybe some, I don't know, royalty-free kind of rain in the background or something. I don't know. We'll play around with these a bit, but anywho, what I want to discuss a little bit is, I guess, what's going on from my creative side, I guess. I have to confess, I've been quite burned out. And I've not really clocked it. Until recently. And I've realised I have been neglecting certain things. I've been neglecting I guess, me in a way. I've been trying to think of things, trying to pour things in, and rushing around, and I've kind of sucked the fun out of it. And that's no good for me, because at the end of the day, if I'm not having fun, then how can you have fun? How can you be enjoying it if I'm not? So I'm looking at how I want to approach content creation. That doesn't mean I'm going anywhere. It doesn't mean these videos going away. It just means I need to approach how I take care of myself. You know, I've not been painting models. I've not been exercising as much. So, probably after this video is recorded, I'm probably going to do some sit-ups. I might pay a model if I have it in me, but if not, then I'll at least do some sit-ups. Doing this video is at least me doing something, because I've been doing a lot of nothing in the evenings, and I feel bad when the evening ends and I've done nothing. So instead of doing nothing, I'm going to try and do something. I'm going to try and really work on something. Doesn't matter what it is. Little video, stuff for a review. But, like I said, these I aim to be more consistent with. I will try. Can't guarantee anything, but I will try. Now, as for what else we're doing, now, I haven't found anything I felt too compelled to do another campaign review on, but perhaps I dabble in other kinds of reviews, maybe? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be a reviewer channel, but then again, how many VTubers do reviews on game stuff, honestly? The VTuber niche is wide, deep, but also shallow. We all kind of go for the same kind of things, in many respects. We all just try and stream. Let's be honest, that's what we're all doing. There's actually a drought in a lot of more edited long-form content, edited content. Shorts, there's plenty of them, they're easy. People do them. I probably should do more, but I don't. I guess, in one sense I could, but in another sense I just don't find much from them. I might scroll them for a bit, and then realise I'm scrolling and go, what am I doing with myself? I've caught myself in the loop, but I guess I often find, the more I think about it, the more I just think, why am I doing that? Maybe it's just me, perhaps I'm not that Zoomer-coded, but I just don't see the appeal in what mostly turns into AI slop. I don't like AI slop. It's cringe and bad, and let's be honest, it's worthless. And you can't copyright it either, so it really has no value, because someone could just copy it, and you can just sit there and cry about it. So, I care little for it, to be honest. What I'd rather do instead is throw together a reasonable length vid, and just kind of collect myself in a way. Like I say, these be like a diary. So, I guess to talk a bit about my week. Now, obviously, my day job, which I don't talk about much, when I'm not being a beautiful angel flying around and trying to entertain you as best as they can, I do a bit of IT. I work computers, that kind of thing. And it has been a busy one this week. I won't go into too much detail to preserve my own anonymity, frankly, but I have had a hell of a time. Well, not as bad as it could have been. I will stress, they've been worse. But, you know, company acquiring a company, all kinds of IT shit happens. But also a lot of the security side. I work in cybersecurity, and it's becoming more and more my thing. So, there's even talk about me getting qualified and that kind of shit. So, it's like, there's a lot of stuff in the works on that side of things. But it means that when something happens, like someone puts in details they shouldn't, I'm the one predominantly who deals with it, or at least assists someone else in dealing with it. But it's me who'll do a lot of, like, background shit, and advising people and educating them. Bit of training, it's me who does that. So, it's been a busy one for this month. Twice as many as last year. Now, still in the single digits, firmly, but point is, it's become busier. So, I've had that to contend with, but other than that, and that's only about maybe an hour or two's worth of nonsense, but still, it's tiring, but hey, it's the job. The rest, though, thankfully has not been as bad as I thought. The one before was way worse, still stuff coming in for that, frankly, it's ridiculous. But nowhere near as bad, despite how it looked like it's going to be. Which is good, because I had took this Sunday off from streaming out of concern that I would be really tired burned out, and pissed off. Turns out it was I was actually a Sunday too late, and it was last Sunday. Well, Sunday a week or so ago for you guys. And, well, how shall we say? It's been kind of a long one this week. But not as bad. Like I say, long but not terrible. And hey, as of right now, it's Wednesday, we're halfway through, so not too bad. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, it's the following Tuesday and it's been a good weekend. I hope, anyway. Last one, there's rougher parts. Now, I guess from a creative standpoint, like I say, the video side of things, I'm still fully kind of figuring out what I want to do with myself. It sounds weird, but I haven't fully found my niche of videos. With streams, I found a niche to a point, but then I guess I'm semi-variety, but I lean on certain kinds of games. I'm not quite the fast-paced Valorant player, that kind of thing. That's not me. I'm no good at those games anymore. I've accepted that long ago. I'm no good at competitive FPS anymore. Like, not like the kind of FPS that we have now, anyway. Halo Reach, that kind of stuff, I was great. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I was pretty fucking good. But when it comes to now, Valorant, stuff like that, no, I'm terrible. I'm terrible at it. And it's why you'll probably never see me play it. Like, there was a time back when I was a bean, I played with a friend for a little bit, but didn't really bother too much. Wasn't that interested. And moved on. I've tried other things like For Honor, which I tried again. I don't think I enjoyed it much. I think I was coming in very new. And here's the other problem. I was coming in very new, whilst being really, really sick at the time, which didn't really help my perspective. Because, here's the thing, chat. Sorry, I'm saying chat like there's a chat here. So, if I do that, listen, I'm used to streaming. But, my dear sinners, some of you may know, last year I was very sick. I mention it probably too often, really. But I came back from hospital. I was still very ill. Like, I was ill for months. If I think about it sometimes, I think about that point in time where I felt really weak. But I was trying stuff here and there. And I tried For Honor. I regret trying it at the time because I think it skewed my perspective. It made me not really like the game much. So I was really tired and had very little energy, and it just killed me. I couldn't do it. And I was still coughing my guts up and all sorts, so it was just like, oh, no. So, stuff like that, I don't think's for me. But then, I guess what I like to play tends to be on the niche end. But then I like Monster Hunter, you know. I enjoy my Monster Hunter. Elden Ring, Night Rain, I've had a lot of fun with that, actually. That's actually been kind of fun. A little bit of Marvel Rivals, that actually wasn't too bad. But strategy games, those are my mostly bread and butter. Warhammer stuff, I like me some Warhammer stuff. Games Workshop does try and make me not like it by being Games Workshop, but hey, you know, love the franchise, hate the company behind it. But, hey, it is what it is in that one. But, on some more positive notes, I've been trying to, as I said before, try and engage with stuff, try and look at some things and how I can improve, but also what things I enjoy specifically, and to try and just try stuff more. That's currently where I'm at, is at this kind of phase where I want to try some stuff. I want to try and break the malaise, because I feel like I've become very... honestly, I hope not boring, but I worry I've become a little bit boring. I've been doing the same kind of things, and maybe to change things up a little bit. I feel like my attitude's been very... keep doing the same stuff, you know, churn stuff out, and that's not really fun, is it? So, I am going to have a think about how I want to approach some stuff. And not just looking at other streamers do, but just looking at what I've done before and just go, well, what worked, what didn't, and honestly, maybe try and figure out some collabs. I've been trying to here and there, but I realise I'm really bad at like arranging collabs. I just about managed to do the Dark Heresy stuff. That, as I expected, has not always been the easiest thing to set up because multiple people, normally it's difficult to get everyone together. But, you know, there's also that problem of lots of streamers. So, scheduling is a pain in the neck. Listen, if there's one thing I can assure you, us streamers are creatures of habit. We have our times we like to do stuff. It's very difficult to change that. But I try and adapt for other people because the way I see it, as long as I try and keep it around a certain time for me, then it should be good for you guys. But I do try and put my foot down and say, look, I need around this kind of time, please. My viewers who see me and would like to see me are around at this time. Your viewers are on this time as well. Let's try and marry it up. You know? That's what we try and do. And I guess one thing I've come to realise quite often is I'll go, oh yeah, we should collab. And then the hard part is going, okay, what do we both like? What do we both do? Where do we cross over? Because it's a two-part thing. Like, I'm not super business-orientated. I'm not going to look at you and go, how do we mesh business-wise? But I am going to try and think, okay, you're cool. You know, you seem cool to me. I seem cool to you. Great. What can we both do together to be cool together, right? And that's the hard part. You know, because, again, I appreciate I operate in a very particular niche to a point where, you know, I play a lot of Warhammer stuff, I play a lot of strategy games, and the problem is with that is not everyone does that. So I either need to find a game that we both like, that maybe I don't normally stream, or I need to see if you're interested in something I do, and introduce you to it. Maybe you do something and I introduce me to it. And just that bit of discovery, that new player perspective, right? And I think as well, I've realised this, I need to try and improve my ability to yap about things that aren't the game in front of me. Because I don't know about you, but it's very easy to talk about the thing you're doing. The challenge is to go, well, actually, no, I'm doing this thing with one hand, but I'm talking about something unrelated. Not easy to do, and obviously, at some point, you're going to be doing it out of habit. And it's a good thing to start with. But I think I've come to the point where I need to start doing more of, like, you know, I'll be playing like Space Marine 2, for example, and maybe I'm talking about, I don't know, sort of in the week, or maybe someone brings up a topic, and then I start going about that instead, and not just talk about the game. Now, of course, depending on the game, it's easier said than done. Elden Ring Night Rain, or just Elden Ring in general, that's a bit harder, but I can say I will try, Simmer. It may take me time, it may take me a bit of practice at it, but bear with me, and I will do it. And I guess a little thing to sort of wrap up this one. As I say, 20 to 30 minutes what I try and keep them to. This one's a bit more all over the place. I might try and structure them more. Again, please, in the comments, please feel free to give me some feedback. I would very much appreciate it. I don't intend to go into like reaction content, most likely. I'm very mixed about that kind of content. I understand people do it. I fully understand why someone will do it. But I don't fully like it myself. I'm not sure. It honestly makes me kind of morally question a little bit. But again, maybe that'll change. You know, if you guys really want that kind of content, then we can talk about that. You know, I can compromise. And maybe we'll find some funny stuff together, hopefully. It's the idea, right? Again, Trailer 4, completely gone. But another thing to wrap things up is I want to try and drag out that creative side of me again. Be it through experimenting with video ideas, maybe also trying to paint some miniatures again. I've had a few ideas for a 30k White Scars army, actually. I think they're really cool. I'm not going to go on the Warhammer rant, I promise, but White Scars are pretty cool. Night Lords are also pretty cool too. It's one of them. Probably White Scars, but anyway, I might see about that. And if I start doing stuff like that, I might stream me painting some of it. I might post it. You know, whether I'd get into the actual game, I don't know. I'm not vibing too much with the new Horus Heresy edition, but if you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, don't worry. It's fine. If you do, then you do. But anyway, my dearest sinners, thank you for joining me on this small little yap of mine. I do hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I forget to say this quite often, but if you have, please leave a like. And maybe, and I have to get you saying this because on the YouTube side, if I could maybe bug you for a subscription. A little subber. Press that big old subscribe button. I know I'm too used to Twitch's version, but on YouTube it's free. But it would still mean the world to me. Not just because number go up, but also because it would mean maybe you come back for more of this. And I would be more than happy to supply it to you. If you want to say hi to me live, by the way, because don't worry, you don't have to leave YouTube at all to see me live. Because yes, there's a Baron's Cobral live channel, where I do a lot of live stuff. So if you want to say hi to me there, right ahead. If you prefer Twitch for your live content, I'm there too. Links will be in the description down below. I do also stream to Twitter technically, but Twitch or YouTube is a better option. Twitter's one, that's just there to tell you I'm live, really. The other two are where the real bread and butter are. So, that all being said, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, share the video around, maybe tell some people about me. Some random angel you met with a cyborg arm. But, till next time, I've been Baron Cobral, and I shall see you whenever I see you next. Till then, ta-ta for now.